Om Namah Shivaya. I am Professor Rudra Prasanna Mahapatra from Bhubaneswar, Odisha, India. I am an astrologer and astro researcher. Astrology, I predict and earn few pennies. Astro research, I write and speak. So I welcome you to my YouTube channel. Today, let us discuss, or let me say you something about very popular, the existent or non-existent, real or unreal. Yoga or dosa known as Kaal Sarpa. Very scary. The name itself. You will get a number of videos on YouTube on this Kaal Sarpa Yoga. For the time being, let me use the word Kaal Sarpa Yoga, and the abbreviation is KSY. You can also use Kala Sarpa Dosa KSD, because we don't have any mention. So you can use as you want. Out of all those videos, I request you, if possible, please go through the videos by Guruvar K. Rao, and you will get very authentic information, very good research, which was later on published in a book form as Kala Sarpa, Why Such Fright? Yes, Rao has also used the term uh, Kaal Sarpa Yoga. Even if I say Rao Sar, or so my intention is not to address him like that. But Guruvar K. Rao or Kottam Rajanarayan Rao has used the term yoga. I have made one small snippet, if I remember correctly, on Kala Sarpa earlier. Here I will make one elongated one. Hmm. Astrology is no more in the hand of spoofs. Astrology is no more in the hand of spoofs. Why I am saying so? Because it is already a recognized university discipline. Today I got the prospectus of some university, those who are providing DLIT in astrology. Uh, Sanskrit University, of course, Shiva. So it is a recognized discipline. So we have some recommended books, we have some reference books, like all the discipline they have, or we have in the colleges and the universities. So once it is recognized, we have no rights. We means I am saying of the astrologers, the fraternity of astrologers, no rights to say something which is not written in the recommended scriptures. And here in astrology means it is the classical texts of astrology. Sometime I also make a small video by naming those books which are the classical texts of astrology. But there are many indeed. But till then, you can say around 40, 50 astrological classics are there which you can refer. So we cannot say anything like that. Yes. You know that I always come unprepared for my lecture. But today, as it is a very sensitive topic, it is a very sensitive topic, I did little research. So I was just going through the book by Guruvar K.N. Rao, Kaal Sarpa Yoga, Why Such Fright. Personally, the most authentic and scientific research which still can be done is this book. Anything you want to know about this, KSY, KSD, whatever, Kala Sarpa, please go through this book. I'm not promoting any book. This is a personal opinion only for astro enthusiasts or astrologers. The Hindi version is also there. So, in whole book, you will find only one sloka, which also I have read from the Modern Astrology magazine in 2021. Some month I do not remember, but at the end of 2021, somebody has written that sloka also. I am not at all good at Sanskrit, so I don't know how it is pronounced. But what I am paraphrasing it in English. If all the planets, if all the planets are hemmed, the term is Rahu Radha Ketu. All the planets are hemmed between Rahu and Ketu. Yogasya Kala Sarpa. It is mentioned in Sastri. So it is Kala Sarpa. The source is not known. Yes. Professor P.S. Sastri, a very learned scholar, in his book, also I was referring to that book, Essentials of Scientific Astrology or something, the caption, the first volume, page number 445. He has mentioned this sloka, where Guruvar K.N. Rao has taken. He has mentioned in his book. 2003, this book was written, KSY. The edition I have. Not the edition, Rao is understanding that in 2003. But even 2022 edition of Professor Sastri's Principles of Scientific Astrology, the page remains same, plus 445. But what will happen by this yoga? It is a threat to the king or ruler. Yes. Professor Sastri also has mentioned that crops and ruler and crops, if this yoga is happening, so this is a threat to ruler and crops. By explaining that shloka, hmm, uh, Let me see if I can read that shloka in English for you all, because Agre Rahuradha Ketu Sarve Madhyagraha Madhyagatagraha, but in Sanskrit, in English, it is not there. Yogayam Kala Sarpahyam Nirpashi Vinasakritam. I cannot paraphrase it by myself. I'm just saying what Rao and Sastri they are saying. This is the only sloka till available on. Rao is clearly mentioning in this book that many astrologers say that Kala Sarpa is mentioned in many classical standard texts, which is wrong. There may be many local texts, I'm repeating, there may be many local texts, like we have one text in our state, Odisha, known as Jyotisha Sara Ratnavali. We have a citation. I'm not talking of those things. And remember, 70 or 80 years back, it was basically the Sanskrit scholars who are writing the books. It's not necessary that they have referred the classics. Some might have written by using the Sanskrit language. Yes, because now also I am very glad that many Sanskrit scholars they come to the conference and they are very fluently giving speech in Sanskrit. So it is not a big deal at all. But I need the source. So source is not there. So this is the only sloka till available. There may be some local, but here also you can say, sir, it is authentic. I have no, yes, not authentic. Because whether it is a Brihat Parasara or Asatra, whether it is Varamira, they have not mentioned. I am saying, Rao has also said these things. Now, the excuses may be, sir, many scriptures are in tradition. Maybe. Many scriptures were stolen and destroyed. Yes, agreed. Professor Kapoor was saying the same thing in some YouTube snapshots that how Brahmins, for their survival in their dire age, they burnt some Pandulipis because it was the question of survival. Yes, you can see the YouTube snippets. Yes, Professor Kapoor is a good Indologist. Though I have not read his books or his research papers, but I have listened to him. So maybe, but that should not be the excuse that we will rely on a so horrible concept known as Kaala Sarpa in the field of Jyotish. No, not at all recommended. So in that case, many concepts of astrology might have missed, like I was saying about the chakras. They are mostly in traditions. So, and Guruvar Kendra also agrees that maximum Jyotisha are in traditions. But no, still I will not. Because it is now university discipline, which is not taught, you cannot say. If you are saying, then this is not astrology. Maybe something else, maybe some other occult, maybe some others, maybe whatever, but not astrology for sure. Hmm. So now let us discuss how it is formed. Dosa is not there. Now also it has been formed. It's like a disease is not there and symptoms are explained. Very unscientific. I think this kind of researchers should be, this kind of Kala Sarpa, other things would be completely eradicated. Any person, anybody is saying you should cite you some source, or any visitor have all the rights to file legal cases against us. Yes, you might have heard about Alan Leo, the Western astrologer, who has written a good book, 1001 Nativities. So his name is, Alan Frank or Frank Alan, I don't remember, but Leo was his sun sign. He was into legal disputes due to this, some abuse or misuse or some misunderstanding of the official statements of astrology. And in Western astrology is still under many church universities they are delivering. It is not mostly authenticated like we have in Indian astrology, which is being taught in colleges and university levels, mostly under Sanskrit. Yes, I have made one video on that. So what it is? I told you from the sloka, if the planets are hemmed between Rahu and Ketu. Yes, here I am referring one of my own research papers, the so-called Kaal Sarpa Dosa and Rudraksh remedies. Yes, I have also shared Rudraksh remedies for that. The so-called Kaal Sarpa, however, I have not written the Kaal Sarpa. You can find it from my website. So those are the days of my initial research. I think it was published in 2 to 3 years back. So now I am a little bit modifying the research. So all the planets between Rahu and Ketu. Hmm. It is quite well possible actually. Rahu and Ketu, they stay around 1.5 years in the Rasi, and it is possible during certain months, like from one span of 1 month. 1 month is not possible because Moon will get out of the axis. Yes, that is known as Anshika Kala Sarpa, which is again not there. But at least for 15 days, 10 days, the condition will come when the planets are hemmed between Rahu and Ketu. And they are not serial wise hemmed. That will become Graha Malika Yoga, which is there. They're just hemmed. In one house, 3 planets, one house, 2 planets, like that. They are not serially hemmed. Okay. So, again, it is Professor Sastri who has said about the axis. Like if the planets are hemmed between 1 to 7, then it is a very good yoga for spirituality. Yes. Saying it is for spirituality, good or bad, you decide. If it is 6 to 12, maximum possible. Either 1 7 7 1, same axis, 2 8 3 9 4 10, like that. So he has also mentioned that. I do not know it's how the researches were conducted, but it is in his book, and Rao has also mentioned in his book. But he has mentioned 612 axis imprisonment, nothing else. Maybe imprisonment, but good at finance, good at marriage life, everything. Some small proposition. Hmm. I don't remember all the axes. You can refer the book. Just these things I remember. In one axis also, Sastri is saying that it is bad for finance, wealth. In one axis, people is saying possibly 3 and 11 axis, the person will go for some unnecessary, futile effort, futile causes. I mean, maybe some wrong cause also. But anyway, These are the maximum researchers. Now, if you come to the sloka, it is saying about the ruler and the crows. That means you can apply the sloka in mundane phenomenon. Only the king, it is not threat to the king, it is threat to the nation. If threat to the king means it is threat to the nation, not it. Or at that time it is state, because nation is a concept actually. Yes, we all are Indians. It is a subtle concept of that binds us. Country is India, so state one. So king is ruling one region, and some problem to the region is also a problem to king. So yes, mundane phenomena can be, can be that also. I am not very go for that because I am not very pumped at Samhita Jyotisha. I am not getting into that. I am just talking of the natal horoscopy. Certainly not. Yes, and many examples like I'm quoting again that from that book, like Nehru, our own India's own horoscope are under this kind of combination. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Hmm. And I'm really grateful to Guruvar K.N. Rao that he has done significant research. He has given the horoscope of IAS officers, some even the horoscopes uh, from abroad with adequate uh, permission from the visitor or the native owner of the horoscope. So, Kaal Sarpa, but very good, not an issue. And the same thing as I said, it's also is saying that for a longer span, these planetary combinations may be possible because Rahu and Ketu will stay. And if you take the Anshik Kaal Sarpa, where Moon is out of the axis, there will be many births. Okay, so Kaal Sarpa, certainly not. So why Kaal Sarpa? Is it for unnecessary scary? Yes. Is it for the scary and getting a good chunk of money from the visitor? Yes, maybe. Possibly these are the reasons why it is. Even you can find this term in the book My Experiences in Astrology by V.V. Raman. And asking the question, somebody was asking the question to Gayatri Devi ji, that why then? Because Raman was quite young at that time. So Raman was young, so Kala Sarpadesh was present before that. But now, no. Astrology is no more that what you will do astrology by your own. No. It may possible, yes, time is coming when only the Sanskrit scholars from the Sanskrit universities may have this authority to speak on astrology. We are certified, but we are not from Sanskrit universities. But yes, however, the discipline is approved. That means even if you are not from IIM, that does not mean that you cannot read management from other institute. But till then, if we go for strict authenticity, so nobody can tell you about this. Nothing to worry. And now we have this up to a degree. Rahu and Lagna is not included, my dear friends. Lagna itself is not included, only the planets. If Lagna degree is 2 degree and Rahu is in 17 degree, then it will still be counted as, even if Rahu is retrograde, and you see if all the planets are between this 1 to 7 axis, not even the axis of 6 to 12, then yes, then also it will be Kala Sarpa. Because Rahu and Ketu are two astronomical points, we take it retrograde, always in retrograde movement. So essentially, I am saying that this is happening when 50% of the horoscope is blank. I have already said earlier. You just see that those 50% what you are missing, like 4 to 10 axis, the fifth house and ninth house are covered. If in those house lords are posited in their own house, very very good. But if it is 1 to 7, Lagna and fifth are mentioned. One, no, 6, 12. So anyway, this one of these three corners is missing. You just see where the Lord is there. No, not only this, all the. Let's take an example. Suppose it is 1 to 7 axis again. What if the ninth Lord is in the fifth house? Yes, yes, we are missing the direct aspects here because the axis is 180-degree. Something with the Lagna, something with Rahu, and something with Ketu will aspect. But the sloka I have said, it is not saying that something with Rahu or Ketu. Rahu, Radha, Ketu's Madhya, Gata Graha. That means in between Rahu and Ketu. If they stay with Rahu and Ketu, also this sloka does not hold good. Yes. You see, now you put the planets. So it is either, that means from the second, if the axis is being created from 1 to 7, then the planets would be, all the 7 planets would be from the second to sixth house. This should be posited. So there is no direct aspects, only special aspects may be possible. Okay. Similarly, directional strengths they are also losing because the horoscope is 50% blank. All the planets don't have the scope to get that. So it is basically a skewed distribution of planets in the horoscope, possible if it is some ill placed, like the axis is being created and 3 planets are in the sixth house, 2 planets in the third house. Obviously, naturally, you see this simple prediction principle, Bhava, Bhavesha, and Karaka, you'll see that the horoscope is not good. Personally, I never look into this kind of those ever. I have, when I was a student, I was learning from one teacher who was into like this. Whenever he was looking into any Kala Sarpa, he was very, very happy. Now this is the time I can extract. Yes, but no. If something is happening, you see these things are happening and you verify these miseries by the divisional charts. Look for D9, look for D60. Why you are looking at only the, we don't have any provision to see the D1 only. Kala Sarpa in the D1, whichever axis, may give a very good Navamsa to you. Yes, 2 planets may be Abhuttama. So, how you will judge there? But anyway, we see mostly the yogas from D1. And the symptoms are also very erratic. Kaal Sarpa ho gaya, so now anything in this under this earth can happen to you. Sorry, under the sun can happen to you. Yeah. Wrong. So my idea of saying you is this: there is nothing called Kala Sarpa. If you take astrology for today, the very day I am saying you for you, February 25th, 2024, no Kala Sarpa. It maybe I am saying just giving little bit liberty to those traditional texts if they are present. Then maybe some Brahmins from some sects or some those who are doing this astrology for centuries, they might have some text which it is mentioned, but officially it is not granted to say Kala Sarpa. Yoga, dosa, whatever, by creating this kind of combinations. The reason I have stated, I have no personal agony with anybody or any commercial astrologer or any academic astrologer. The reason I stated, because not explained in the books, I cannot say it. New diseases are come. Is it a new dosa? Like yes, right? Then you go for doing research. Yes, maybe. Like Western astrologers they do. But I told you, this present when even Raman was young. So what the Kala is saying, what is the Sarpa, whether it is poisonous, whether it is non-poisonous, whether it is Kala is death, or whether it is Kala is time, all are ambiguous. In fact, nowadays you can straight away defy all this kind of ambiguous statements. Yes. Astrology is now highly advanced. We also have this Krishnamurti Paddhati, which is pretty scientific, though I have very less knowledge on that. But yes, pretty scientific. Nothing, not an iota of worry for this kind of Kala Sarpa. Additionally, Sani Sade Sati, Dhaya. I have made one small video on that also, if I remember correctly. Now also, I don't remember that on which topic I have made video and which topic I have thought of making video but failed. Yes. But anyway, you can write the same thing and comment. So yes, if the divisional charts are not supporting, if the planets are hemmed so critically as I have mentioned, good planets and the Dosthanas, suppose it at 6 to 12 axis. 8th house is there. And if you consider the beginning and the end going a little bit more from the sloka itself, then you will take also the first house and the 7th house, or the house where Rahu is posited and where Ketu is posited. Yes, I must show my sincere grief as well as agony for the views of those astrologers who are spreading this message. Kaal Sarpa. If anybody is doing a statement for the listeners, just ask the source. It is not there. I remember the video from Guruvar Rao. He was saying, when I will say this, many people will become unfriendly to me. I don't need friends. Maybe Guruvar Rao needs, but I don't need. I can straight away say what is there. So, first thing is there is nothing called Kala Sarpa. Yes, the related terms are there, like Sarpa Srapa is there. Yes, it is there. But if somebody is categorically terming the term Kala Sarpa Dosa or Kala Sarpa Yoga completely fake, your plight may be due to some other uh, planetary placements only. Yes. And if the planets are posited sequentially, the so-called useless yoga may be a very good Grahamalika yoga. If you take the houses where Ketu and Rahu are posited, this may can also be a good Vihanga yoga. There are many. So now it is very well known facts. I am very happy that many YouTubers are spreading this. It is not there. So far as natal horoscope is concerned, yes, you can see the natural calamities, the pandemic, we're applying this principle in the mundane phenomena because till then we have one sloka which is supporting the mundane phenomena. Something will happen to the ruler and the crops, or even if something is happening to the ruler, means what? It is not a personal horoscope. Something is going to happen to the state. So it is mundane phenomena. I cannot deny that. Yes, you have some evidence. You can try. But you hardly visit an astrologer for this mundane phenomenon. We don't go to astrologer and ask, so when you think again the third wave of COVID will come, we don't do that. We are there to see our own prarabdha. So natal horoscopy, no Kala Sarpa. Okay. So never ever worry about this. I told you that the sloka still available. I have read this sloka possibly 5 or 6 times in magazines, in books. The source is also not known. So you can also defy the sloka altogether. But till then, Professor Sastri is a very learned man. Yes, I think Professor Sastri is the most learned man till then. Till now, we have in astrology. MA, PhD, delete. I am talking about Professor P.S. Sastri, not V. Subramanya Sastri, who was also a very good translator and possibly a bureaucrat. I don't remember correctly because I'm into astrology, not from an astrological tradition. So many things I just read and say you. My father's grandfather, they are not here to say me. So I'm really blessed to have those books by these learned scholars from which I'm getting something and reproducing before you by little bit adding my own judgment, which is subjected to contradiction or acceptance that the comment section will show. But I'm not worried about that. I'm saying basic idea is I'm here for the sake of Jyotisha. Jyotisha means astrology. So it is not there. So I'm requesting those astrologers, those who are using it, and also the visitors not to worry about this, that Kala Sarpa is not at all there. If you are facing tragedies by this kind of planetary conditions, you see the visions in the divisional charts. Yes. Now, as I said you earlier, the planets when it is clumped up in one house, they may give one kind of sequential yoga in the Navamsa too. So a Grahamalika yoga can be created in the Navamsa. Okay. So nothing to worry. I told you the reason behind, if at all something is happening to you or you are not prospering in the life, maybe due to the placements of planets which are skewed in the horoscope. Skewed means always remember this is the normal distribution. Skewed is like a distribution, one-sided distribution. Those who are very good at statistics, they know it, how to use the test of significance in a skew distribution, which is still being used by Western astrologers, those who go for sample studies to create theories for astrology. That is also good, but in our case, we have already the proven theories. Okay, so no, not at all. The case might be mostly due to the skew distribution of planets where 50% is filled, 50% is blank, and not 50% is filled. Maybe all these seven planets posited in three houses, so only 25% are filled. A spectral strength is not there. Maybe the chance of combustion. Yes, three planets are with the close proximity, say it is. Within three navamsa, that means 10 degree of sun. Yes. So you see these reasons for the unfortune or misfortune, though I say that every misfortune is a blessing. One door closes, the other opens. So the idea here is that you see the horoscope in this fashion, you will see that the planets are cumbersome, there is no spectral strength, hardly directional strength, and placement of good planets in unfavorable houses. I will not say bad or good houses, unfavorable houses, except Kendra and Trikona. So that may be the reason which can be seen from the Navamsa. Now, if the Kala Sarpa, even if it is there, you will not show that the Dasa system, how you will calculate. Then what are the, now if you take the horoscope of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, what a beautiful destiny. I think the most trained prime minister, I think this is a personal view, till now, very well trained. At his time, he was highly educated. We must see the achievement of a person with the in lieu of the time and space. Yes. If today is somebody able to speak in English, not a big deal. But at the time of the pre-independence or just the first decade or second decade of post-independent era, English was not so easy to understand. Forget about speaking. So at that time, Kala Sarpa, can you believe it? You can have many horoscopes. I don't want to name them here because the person may have some. I mean, there are horoscopes and many other things also. Guruvar K. and Rao has said in his book. But his book apart, personally also, I also know. I'm just saying that this is still a very good research on this. So do not try to anyway make some research and prove this yoga and dosa. This is actually a threat to Jyotisha, not to anybody. It's a threat to Jyotisha. Astrology is there to read the karma of the prarabdha, read the prarabdha karma of a person and guide him accordingly. This Karasarpa dosa, the so-called Karasarpa dosa, this illicit dosa, this abuse dosa is now prohibiting that. You see this, you have got Karasarpa, so you will not go to analyze the horoscope. It is also happening. I am saying it from my personal experience. You visit some astrologer who still stick to this kind of superstitions. Yes, superstitions. The right term for Karasarpa is superstitions. Yes, the planetary placements are bad. By applying the simple principles divinal charts are not supporting, then that is the right way of prediction. Planets between Rahu and Ketu are going to spoil. However, Professor Sastri was liberal to say yes, if this axis is happening, then this is good. One flaw will come. Spirituality, 1-7 axis. Good. But then in Pravajya Yoga classical should be fulfilled. Like more than four planets should be in one house. That is the Sannyasa Yoga combination. Forget about the Kartari or the wing of Rahu and Ketu. They are like divider, Rahu and Ketu. So nothing like that. Planets have all the liberty to move, to stay wherever it is directed by the Almighty. That will indicate the prarabdha of the native. Nothing more than that. All the yogas, all the dosas, or the khala yogas or subha yogas are just the indications of your prarabdha. If at all this kind of dosa is there indicating something very valuable, then keep it in the astrological scripture. This is what Kaal Sarpa dosa is saying. If Kaal Sarpa dosa is at all, if it is there, then the mother will lose the native. So the native will lose the mother in the 10th year. If something like that is there, then it is absolutely helpful for astrology, or else this is corrupted astrology. So far as Hindu astrology is concerned, I'm not saying anything about the Western astrology. Maybe it's there, but in our case, no. So I'm sorry if I have hurt somebody who is still into this kind of superstitious yoga like Kala Sarpa. But my dear friends, think of a broader goal of Jyotisha. With a lot of tussles, now astrology is being placed as a discipline at the university level. So do not corrupt it more. Nothing is allowed which is not written in scriptures. Kujja dosa written in scriptures. Lagne, dhane, vese, kujja, so slokas are there. Yes, even if there are improvisation, if you see Bhurat Parasar Sastra, Lagna is emphasized, but in Jataka Parijata, the second house is emphasized, not Lagna. As reading it from the conversation between B.V. Raman and Gayatri Devi Vasudeva, which was out in the Modern Astrology magazine. So it is there. I will agree to that. And do not unnecessarily blame Kujja Dosa. Like Kujja Dosa is there, it is saying that it is the death of the other. Maybe sometimes separation of marriage if if Mars is in the seventh house, like that. Due to conflict, of course. Due to because Mars is the Karaka for fighting. But Kujja Dosa is there so that you are getting delayed in marriage. No such proposition is there, my dear all. Do not over aggravate. Somebody, a survival of corona, he will become blind. No, maybe a little bit weak. Other things you can say. Okay, so do not do unprofessional astrology or untrained astrology. If anybody of you has gone through this sloka, has found these slokas regarding this dosa, please write in the comment section. Also suggest me that which are the classics I am saying, which are the classics that, sorry, those explain about this dosa or yoga, whatever. Personally, also, somebody was saying that no, Kala Sarpa is a very good yoga if this is thing. And people are now saying also, this is also good. No, there is nothing called like that. It's not a personal term I'm saying. In Jyotisha, in the astrological scripture, in the classics, it is not mentioned. No excuses will be entertain in this regard. Anything which is corrupting Jyotisha, anything which is corrupting the society via Jyotisha, creating superstitions, should be banned ASAP. Okay, so you all must try for that. If anybody is doing this kind of astrology, applying this KSY, Sadesati, another concept, but till same like Saturn transit in the Sadesati from the Chandra Lagna, what you call Rasi. Some usages, yes, you can do some other predictions, but not always negative like the so-called KSY. I'm really glad that many YouTubers are now making positive videos on this kind of stuff. I'm pretty comfortable with this because I told you that I stay in my chamber, I do research, I read, write, and always also I have to agree that these scriptures are so vast that we cannot read. You just cannot say anything out of your own or out of the blue now in astrology. Yes. So there is for the astro enthusiasts who are watching this video, I am saying there is nothing called Kala Sarpa Dosa, Kala Sarpa Yoga, there is nothing called Kala. Only the Sarpa term is there in astrology. I was listening to my Guru Sadguru Chakki Vasudev during the consecration of the Linga in Bengaluru, and he was handling a snake and he was saying Kala Sarpa is where something will happen very quickly in a yogic perspective, not astrologically. So now yoga is not there, the dosa is not there. So many fraud propositions are now also now coming. Kala Sarpa dosa is there, you will have 3 marriages. If Kala Sarpa dosa is there, you will lose your children. Bloody hell. Pardon me for my little bit arousal because I'm not feeling comfortable for this kind of adulteration of knowledge. So the purpose of today's video is to spread awareness completely, and those who the astrologers listening to me, astro students listening to me, my dear all, if you are really finding any substantial problem by this kind of planetary combinations, I have not uttered that word, planetary combinations, please evidence the same things by classical scriptures, or else your propositions will not be accepted. Yes, because I write in magazines, I know. There you are not allowed to write anything out of your own. And that should be. I completely agree to that. Now, the disciplinary knowledge is going, the intuition is coming down. Even somebody is predicting by his intuition, very correct prediction. But if planetary combinations which are written in our classics are not getting fulfilled, then he or she is not an astrologer. Yes, for sure. I'm about to complete 1 hour. This is a very long video. I told you that why some of you say, no, sir, I have got this Kaal Sarpa, I'm suffering. That might be due to this reason. That may be due to the planetary placements only, not due to that so-called useless term. Okay. So, if you have, I will invite if you are finding any astrological hardcore scriptural evidence. I am not asking you to give the references directly from. Also, you can give the references from the Puranas, other things, where it is mentioned. Only you say Kala Sarpa is there. Now here it is mentioned that if this is the condition, then king issue will happen. So that I am giving a leverage. Yes, you can use Kala Sarpa so far as mundane phenomena is concerned, that it is still being used also. Yes. in that mundane phenomena. Very rarely, but people are still using. Yes, but not natal horoscopy. However, yogas they work similarly in case of Samhita Jyotisha and Phalita Jyotisha. I mean this mundane horoscopy and natal horoscopy, but till this is highly abused, this so-called Kala Sarpa. If you have some more doubts, please go through the book by Guruvar. I'm not promoting, but personally that is the best research on Kala Sarpa Dosa till date. Kaal Sarpa Yoga is saying, but I don't know why Guruvar is using the term Kaal Sarpa Yoga. It should be termed as dosa because it is basically used by commercial astrologers to threat people, to scare people, to create a terror. Kujja dosa, that's not Kujja Yoga. Visha dosa, not Visha Yoga. Also Visha Yoga is good, but Visakanya Yoga, yeah, yoga is there. But till then, here, it is basically malefic. So I am again saying, do not adulterate the knowledge which we have. All the efforts of many stalwarts, it is now being approved at the university level and has got an officiality. So do not adulterate it. Those who are facing this kind of conditions, you have all the rights to ask the astrologers that there is nothing called Kala Sarpa, and you can use my video as evidence. You can use Guruvar Rao's book as evidence for the negation of this kind of dosa. Yes, if somebody is opening up classics, not the 100 years old book which his grandfathers they have written, but some classics which is being taught at the university level, college level, some authentic Sanskrit text by the astro scholars of Hindu astrology, then I will take my words back. So if Mahakala wants and Kala permits, we will meet with another video. You know, I am not a professional, so maybe some voice, maybe some sounds, or maybe light adjustment may not be there. If you find that, you just listen to it using some earphone, and you are always there to ask me questions, criticize my views with authentic research. If you are saying somebody is bad, cite the reasons. If you're saying somebody is good, cite the reasons too. Sir, you are very good. Why? So what the other person who is reading your comment will find out from that? Because he is saying something which is written in classics. Sir, you are not good because your research is failing in this area. So do honest comment. Please share this video. My purpose is just share this video. Though YouTube has a mandate that maximum people watch it, so it is good. Like, dislike, it is always subjective. It is always subjective. Like-minded people will have like. So different-minded people will dislike. So I am not getting into that. Anything which is contributing to the field of astrology, always welcome. Be in the terms of comments, be in the terms of WhatsApp me, in the email also. You can write that. And I'm also saying that I'm not a very learned scholar, that I may be skipping some points. You can add it in the comment box. So God bless you all. Om Namah Shivaya.